This week in Siege, Tomas is no longer dying to the flank.
When I say, hold my flank, he's holding my flank. Last stage, when I said hold my flank, I died to flank.
With the help of an eclipse, a Canadian's return makes TSM go dark, and Blurr needs Google Maps to find the defuser. Hey everybody, it's me, SiegeGG, and welcome to another exciting episode of a debrief for week 2. Starting off with another NAL doubleheader, the first day sprang quite a surprise on us with the X-Set Sonics matchup. While the Sonics had looked red hot last week, they were rocked off the bat with an incredible 5-0 deficit on defense. One of the best players in Stage 2, Grixer, wasn't happy and reeled off an impressive 4K in attack to keep his team in the fight.
Look at these angles right now, especially this one from Grixer. He's going to be able to work the center panel. Can he get both? It's going to be a simple head tap.
But X-Set, having brought back Envy King, was too much to handle and slowed their opponents down to subsonic speeds. The very next day, though, marked the return of another king, the two-time world champion Canadian. And boy, did his new team's match against TSM live up to its billing. Despite losing the first round, TSM caught on fire and raced away to a strong 5-1 lead on Oregon defense. But Thatcher and Flora's bans meant the attackers struggled hugely, and Canadian led the charge for DZ to OT. And in OT, it's always all DZ, and they came up big to make Canadians return from retirement a winning one. But the best moment of the week was possibly Tomas not holding back after beating his old team.
It's actually amazing to have a flank watch that doesn't die nowadays. Loading that fool. When I say hold my flank, he's holding my flank. Last stage, when I said hold my flank, I died to flank.
Over across the pond, our attention was once again directed towards Kovana, this time against Na'Vi. Not much separated the two teams initially, though. Kovana still managed a 4-2 half on defense. Na'Vi managed to force overtime, though, but nearly let the first OT round slip, despite Blurr doing almost everything right.
I think Blurr knows at this point he can pre-fire this. He moves around, he finds his man, and he's got the time on the clock. But can he find the defuser? He's got 4 seconds. He needs to move quickly. He is just in time. Just in time, Des.
The action just ramped up after, as Benjamaster responded with a triple kill 1v1 clutch to make it a 15-round game before everything reached a fever pitch in a back-and-forth final round.
It's 2 versus 2 Na'Vi. They now have to go on the retake. We see the man drop underneath. So there is a man in the pool table, shut down by a Narkic on the rotate. It's all up to Doki. Is he going to stick this? He's certainly going to try. I think he might. No, he comes off. He manages to get one, but shut down as Grizzly comes in with an essential challenge. And just like Playday 1, Kovana are able to snatch it at the very, very end.
Meanwhile, in Brazil, the concern was mounting for the world champions NiP, who started off their weekend with yet another loss. NiP were up against Brazil's newest champions, Team ONE, who were absolutely flying. Levy started things off with a triple kill, and there was no looking back from there. NiP only got close to winning a round on round 6, but Psycho was well outsmarted in the 1v1.
It's a 1 versus 1, but remember, Psycho collected the defuser. He's now going to be able to get that down. There is a C4 in Lagonis' hand, but he's going to let the plant go down for free. Use the heartbeat scanner, but the bars aren't kind. Psycho, however, can choose to run away. He could choose even to go vertically and try and hold this, but Lagonis, he's going to jump straight on. If he sticks this, he might just make it. Psycho, you can't let him just defuse like that. What are you doing?
NiP would get swept 7-0, with Kamikaze getting 0 kills in the entire match. The next day, we'd see 2 8-7 matches, one featuring an INS upset over Team Liquid, but it was the other, featuring NiP actually looking like themselves, that deserved attention. Up against a Furia that's very similar to Team ONE, NiP got off to a tough start, only managing a 3-3 attack half on Coastline. But NiP had the momentum in the second half and secured match point first, eventually converting it to 2 points for their first win in the stage. Kamikaze even turned around his own performance, going 13-9 instead of 0-7. Meanwhile, up in APAC North, the Aussies of Fnatic were staking an early claim to the top spot. This time, they were up against FAV Gaming, but flexed their muscles with a 4-2 defense half on what's usually a balanced map. But FAV fired back immediately on the second half, winning back-to-back 1v2s.
But Alfama with a quick pick up. There's one more body. It's number 2. He's behind the bar, but we are almost at closing hour, and it's time for number 2 to kick out the unruly patrons. The first is the swing, and the second is the corner.
And though it was balanced as expected in the second half, the 3-3 half-men Fnatic would win 7-5 to equal Mantis FPS's record so far. But over in APAC South, their Australian friends were hit by a setback in their push for first place. Up against an Invictus that had gone to the Mexico Major, the Knights started off well with a 3-0 lead, but the Aussies would struggle to get on the board after that, despite incredible heroics from Hayward.
Speakeasy's covering the White Stairs rotation. Oh my god, Joe! Almost the plant was denied. Hayward! 1 versus 1 with the double deagle. Hayward has made this winnable, put the team onto his shoulders, and Joe has to hold on. Hayward 7-5, but that's not good enough.
The Singaporeans would win 7-4 in a match that might make the difference in the push for first and could send them straight to the November Major. Over in Mexico, the regularly scheduled games continued, this time with no power outages, but with a doubleheader. 6th placed Kingdom Gaming came up big despite taking on a MET that was 11 points ahead. Kingdom would get to match point first, helped along by some pitch-perfect plays from Jack.
Es el duelo 1-1 y Ale 11 al puro Ecatepec style termina llevándose la baja y ahora queda 1-1, señores. Ya!
Despite MET managing overtime, Kingdom still managed to establish dominion, winning a thrilling 8-7 on Clubhouse. MET featured again in the most exciting game on the next day and ended up playing against 15 rounds. Phoenix seemed well in control of the match, up 4-0 and 5-2, but Met were not done yet and managed to force yet another overtime. Lots of rhyming there. MET even got match point, but a brilliant 2v4 from Phoenix denied their hopes for an 8-6 win.
Este bope llevándose a León, esa es una buena noticia para la escuadra de Fénix. Ahora tiene que ganarle a Conormeister, que está en las escaleras rojas. Lo va a ver y lo va a castigar. 2 en contra de 2. Muy cerrada esta ronda. 25 segundos en el reloj. Lo ven en fogones. Castiga. ¡Castiga Luxor! ¡Ahí están! 2 para ellos. Les queda uno más. ¡Pierde todas las...
Eventually, it was Phoenix that ended up winning and gave MET another 8-7 defeat. Meanwhile, in the South American doubleheader, Furious Gaming had a great weekend. 3rd placed in the combined standings, it got a big boost in its push for the Copa Elite 6. First taking down 2nd place Malvinas Gaming 7-5.
No ha logrado hacer el plan, pero hazlo ya, señor, porque te estás tardando demasiado, no lo puedo creer. Ahí me leéis, vamos mate, mate, ahí lo tiene, no. Socho, a último momento. Trick, tranquilo. Que no te dé el ataque.
2 of their clutches meant Furious Gaming took Malvinas down before also beating New Star 7-5 the next day. As a result, Malvinas dropped to 2nd, 2 points behind 9Z, and just 5 points ahead now of Furious Gaming. That's all for this week, folks. With the regional competitions back worldwide, be sure to hit up the competitions pages on SiegeGG to see who is topping those leaderboards. And do not forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube and follow us on Twitter for all sorts of fantastic content. And follow me at Jackie Jing. And before we go, let us know in the comments how you think Stage 3 is going to go. And be sure to join in the predictions on SiegeGG. Bye, Siege fam!